Hi guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with Josh to talk about Force India's chances in 2016. Would you like to say hello?
Hello everyone.
So we'll probably start off by talking about last year, because it was a pretty decent year for Force India. Maybe not spectacular, but it was pretty decent, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, the second half was probably the best, second half of the season they've ever had. Finishing fifth as well in the Constructors, their best result ever. Probably the team of the year as well. I mean, of course, I'm a bit biased, but come on, Force India, team of the year for sure. 8th largest budget and 5th in the Constructors.
I didn't know that. It actually is impressive, isn't it? I suppose was a bit more of a superior, interesting. I don't know, whatever. Good year. It was a better year than I said. 5th, you said, the best they've ever had in the standings.
Best they've ever had. Yeah.
But then how many podiums was it?
Just the one. Yeah, Sochi. So. Yeah, hopefully more podiums to come in 2016, because 2015 was certainly very good towards the end, but we have to remember the start of the year wasn't that great, so it'd be nice if 2016 was good all the way through.
Yeah, I think that's the problem Force India have always had. They haven't been consistent throughout the whole season. We're both Force India fans, so we can testify for this. They've never been great throughout a whole season, which has let them down in quite a few situations. But then I suppose they don't have the money of some of these other teams.
No, I mean 2016, 2017 regulations coming in. Hopefully some of the other teams, are going to be looking towards that year. So maybe we won't see as much development or upgrades this year. So maybe this, the cars we see in Melbourne aren't really going to be changing that much. So that could work in Force India's favour.
Yeah, they need to come out of the starting box quick, and they have a really good lineup. I'd say one of the best lineups on the grid, to be perfectly honest. Like both drivers. Perez, obviously. He was really I thought, inconsistent in his career until last season, where he sort of got it all back together, and he beat Hulkenberg in the standings, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a bit of a blow for Hulkenberg, but everyone's still hyped about him, and I'm sure he'll be moving on to maybe a seat at the end of the season. But we say that every year,
don't we? Like I said.
Yeah.
But, it is a really, really good team, like I said. Probably the best in the midfield, I'd say. And if you look at their rivals, take Renault for example, if they've got Palmer and Maldonado next season, and their cars are similar, Force India are going to come out every single time, because Perez and Hulkenberg, two of the best drivers on the grid in terms of midfield drivers. Perez is still very young as well, and both of them have been around for a similar sort of time. In fact, I think the same time. They've had the same amount of seasons. Hulkenberg, of course, won Le Mans as well last year, so should be interested in 2016.
It sucks that he's not going to be able to race in it next year.
No, and none of the GP2 drivers either. I just saw it got confirmed. GP2's on the same weekend as well. So there goes Mitch Evans' chances.
Oh yeah, Mitch Evans. I was
going
to say
like that. So,
but I suppose that the Spa. I don't know whether that Spa is it 12 hours. I can't remember. But they sometimes put an extra team in there, but. It's disappointing for Formula 1 that why can't they just work together and make a good schedule? Especially in my opinion, I just watched Le Mans that day. I don't really watch anything else. So, if Formula 1's on that day, I just probably won't watch it.
Yeah, qualifying on the same day. I've seen a poll, and it's pretty down the favour of just watching the start of Le Mans really, and just forgetting about qualifying and Azerbaijan. Of all the races as well, to clash it with it.
Is it? I didn't realise. Yeah. I completely forgot that that's even on the calendar. Why?
Twilight race
we'll
as well.
See.
I think just been confirmed today at the recording.
Is that like Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. But we'll see how that goes.
So, what do you think for this season, coming up? Where would you say their aims are going into this season? Do you think it's to better the 5th place, or do you think keep 5th place, get more podiums?
Yeah.
What do you think? I'd
say maintain it, really. I mean, like you said, get more podiums, of course. That'd be great. But can they really go any higher? There's a bit of a ceiling, really. It's going to be very tough to break through. But I think for the future, it's looking really good. I mean, look at Aston Martin. They were looking into buying Force India. I think that's all been called off now. But that kind of proves that Force India is a really, really good race team.
Yeah.
And, future investors might want to invest in Force India, and that is how they can break through the season. So it's not impossible. But as for 2016, maintaining 5th would be brilliant. Even a drop down to 6th would still be pretty decent if they can push for a few podiums. And
I suppose
sorry, go on.
The thing is, what team was it last year? That McLaren, I suppose, was the team last year that everyone maybe we didn't expect them to finish ahead of Force India, but maybe in a couple of years' time that'll be the team that goes back ahead. But someone like Red Bull, Williams can have a terrible season one year and then have a great one the next. So who knows? Maybe Force India could even go to fourth. It depends how good Williams is, because if we remember back 2012, that was a race-winning year and a really good car, and then 2013 was like, what? So
yeah,
I don't know whether that will happen.
That's the good thing about Force India. They're always pretty solid. They've always been around 6th, 7th, and they finally got 5th now. So I think that's the good thing about Force India. Like you said, McLaren, they're going to be improving. Renault, are they really going to be any better? I think the main rivals for Force India probably this season could be McLaren and Renault, and possibly Toro Rosso with a Ferrari engine, or maybe even Haas. But for the constructors anyway, it's going to be between Force India, Renault, and McLaren probably for 5th.
Do you think Renault's going to be all right then?
Well, yeah, actually that is a good. I mean, we've seen what Red Bull have done with the Renault engine, so it's not like impossible. But I don't think they're going to be at the back. Then I don't think they're going to be at the front. They're certainly not going to be winning races in 2016. So I'm not sure. What do you think about Renault in relation to Force India?
Honestly, I probably would say Renault would be behind, because I was reading the F1 Racing. You're sure you got it as well, and it looks like, just from what they're saying in there, it looks like they're not going to be too competitive at the start of the season. But I suppose they were in so much debt. I suppose if they can keep Maldonado, or can get some money somehow, they can develop, like we've seen in the past, like 2012 race winner and that sort of thing. So was it 2012? It was 2012, wasn't it? 2012.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah, Australia, wasn't it? 2013. Like you said, I think. Well, did it say on the front cover? I think you said in your video it's like 300 million euros or something. Renault have pumped in, so that might not kick in until 2017 though. So I don't know. I've got aspirations for them. I think they could do decent, but maybe depends on the drivers. It's going to be interesting to see.
So at Force India, I can't remember if I said this already. Would you do you predict them to get a certain amount of podiums or
not
points
yet.
This year?
This is a tough one, really. I'd probably say in the constructors, I'm going to be hopeful and say they can stay with 5th. I think due to good drivers, a fairly stable race team, which the budget seemed pretty good for this year. I mean, they're still probably going to be quite low down, but they do manage it really well. 2 consistent point scorers is really what you need, and I think that's what a couple of other teams are lacking. So I think for Force India 5th. As for podiums, it's a tough one, really. I'm gonna say Hulkenberg to get his first ever podium, and Perez, of course, just has to get a podium.
Yeah, Perez somehow just gets like podiums every time. And
actually, I'm not
really
sure.
want to see.
I'm going to retract on that. Hulkenberg's not going to score a podium. The curse will continue until he passes Adrian Zertil for the most starts without a podium.
Yes, then he can get rid of that unwanted record. How many races was that? Do you remember?
Not that I'm counting. I think 124. I don't know. 100 and something like that.
Do you think is Hulkenberg that close? I suppose if he doesn't get a podium this year,
since 2010, of course, he had 11 out. So that's I think approaching 100 or over 100 now. So it's tough to say, isn't it? Like, you really don't know. I mean, if you said after Melbourne, maybe you could say, but really we don't know how competitive it's going to be. And Hulkenberg has never really been one to get that podium. He's just kind of been 5th, 6th, nearly there.
5th, 6th consistently.
Then he got on the lead, and then he takes Hamilton out, and see, he was on pole, of course. Let's not forget. Back in 2010.
Was that 2010? Yeah, 2010.
And then obviously 2012 with Hamilton leading the race, and he has had his chances. Some people say he's never had chances, and fair enough. Exactly. He's never on a podium contender car, really. But he's had a few races where you kind of feel Perez was in that situation. He might just sneak that podium. Yeah, definitely.
It's like 2012 Malaysia. Like Perez just like out of nowhere is battling Alonso for the win. I don't know whether it's. I don't want to say it as whether Hulkenberg maybe bottles it a bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, if you do watch that 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix, what an incredible race, by the way. But yeah, if you watch that race, you sort of feel that he could have. He didn't need to do that right then.
No.
He was quick enough.
It was a shame, really. And maybe when he retires from Formula 1, that might be his biggest regret. But we'll see. I think, yeah, he will get a podium in the future, but 2016, I'm going to make a prediction, but it won't be 2016.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
I don't think too much now. As for the car launch, as we're recording this on the 21st, it hasn't been announced yet. But we'll have to see. In terms of the livery, Alex, just a question for you. Your favourite Force India livery? Do you like this current kind of state, this kind of racing black and grey, or do you prefer the bright Indian flag colours of the?
I like the Indian flag colours, to be honest. I think 2011 or 2008. I thought it was all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, when they had the like the YouTube,
gold.
like not YouTube, but it looked like the like red and
colours,
red and white. That was pretty cool. Spiker, of course, as well. Before they came Force India.
I didn't realise Suttle got points for. Well, he got a point for Sauber.
After a shoe position. So we've had some really, really cool liveries for Force India. So that's one thing you can rely on them for. A really, really cool livery and a consistent season. But maybe this time we'll see a consistent season.
It'll change.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It might have a boring, rubbish livery and then they'll suddenly be first. Right, so how many subscribers are you at the moment?
Off the top of my like 580 something. So
let's try and get you over. Try and get you over 700 with this video. I mean, we've got to set some sort of target. So yeah, guys, I'd appreciate if you go and subscribe to Josh in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully enjoyed the video. It's been Josh and Alex out of it. Goodbye.